Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, welcome to yet another episode of the Ugandan Podcast. My name is Brandy Valentine Azerwe, Communication Officer, Ministry of ICT. Now, one good rapper and a poet called Kendrick Lamar once said, communication can rule a nation. So today we have the one and only Danze John Edwin, aka Dijan.
You have to fix that in there.
Yes.
Somewhere.
Yes, he is the general manager of Next Communications and also the CMO. What is CMO in for?
Chief Marketing Officer.
Of Next Media, one of the biggest media houses we have in this country, and we are here to discuss everything Ugandan media. Danze, you're welcome to the Ugandan Podcast.
Thank you very much.
Where have you?
I've been dying to be on this podcast.
Now you're here.
Yeah.
But let's not waste people's time. Can you kindly give us an insight of your journey in the media industry?
How much space is on the card? But anyway, I'll just be extremely fast. I've been to art school. That's my very good artist. I'm very good artist, specializing in illustration, pastel painting, and things like that. So I pivoted into doing industrial and fine art at the university, Makerere. Okay. Then from there, I found my way into the fashion industry. And it's from the fashion industry that I found love for communication, because the struggle was being able to sell high-end clothes for Sylvia or an African woman to the normal buyer here in Uganda. So that allowed me to tap into social media. From social media, I find myself into gaming. From gaming, I entered the advertising space. And from advertising space at Fireworks, I ended up at NBS TV. And now, fast forward 7 years later, I would say I'm a full comms major.
Yeah. We are so proud of you.
Oh, thank you, please.
Who are we to have you as a nation? What would we do without it?
Very funny.
Yeah, I had you have had a tremendous journey, and I've been following you on the socials and everything, and I'm so proud of all the work you're doing.
Thank you very much.
Also, you say you are at Fireworks.
Yeah, so I've been to almost all the heritage media advertising agencies. I was at Moringa, now it's TBWA.
Yeah.
I was at Fireworks Tibwa.
Yeah.
Now I was at Fireworks Advertising, Fideli, that then morphed into something else, Sachi, etc.
Yeah. The group CEO died, and may his soul rest in peace.
Stalonyo.
Frank Muthusi.
Yeah, legend.
Yeah. What challenges have you faced in the media industry?
Surprisingly, barrier to entry is becoming thinner, I would say, mainly because as Uganda, we're predominantly a legacy media kind of industry. TV, radio, by legacy, I mean the terrestrial TV. People have been used to consuming us on TV, free to air and things like that. The pay boxes for DSTV and all these guys had always been there, but they pushed as premium products. But right now, with the birth of social media and with the birth of the smartphones and all these things, almost everyone can come off as media-ish kind of thing. It's very expensive to set up a media house, but it's not expensive to do media, I would say.
Okay.
Other barriers, of course, would be funding, knowledge gaps are there, and then how slow people are willing to move to what's trending worldwide. For example, people are very big on stream right now, but there's a lot of resistance for people to stream our content via, let's say, the Afro mobile app for Next Media. Yet that's inevitably where things are going to go. I mean, we're doing a podcast. It's going to be on a big tech, on YouTube or any other platform that you can find it on. But people are not yet used to doing that. Yet there's a lot of content on these platforms.
That's true. And what challenges have you faced as a media personnel? I know you have a show called Game Plus. Yes.
No, it's interesting that you say that, because again, growing up, we've been watching Biwa, That's Life Mato, things like that. But at the same time, we're watching movies as well from Hollywood, Nollywood, and all these other places out there.
And Bollywood.
Bollywood, exactly. This seems like your favorite.
No thanks.
So that content mix sort of dictates how your media patterns are going to go all the way through. Now, me host a gaming show. You find that I have a small community of 10,000 people in a whole whooping population of 47 million plus people that would be watching my content. But the beautiful thing is that's a contained and managed community that I believe I own. I would like to make it a bit more mainstream, but again, the thing about media right now is people book your audiences and they want to watch what they are willing to watch, especially because we've been trained to consume content via social media platforms. So your interests are going to be different from my interests, but unfortunately for our media here, it's programmed. If you don't catch me between 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Saturday morning, there's a high chance you won't get a repeat later, because most TVs are moving into live coverage and things like that. Other barriers would be, of course, it's quite expensive to do this, extremely expensive. Now look at this amazing set. There's a high chance you're going to find that in future, most media people that want to do this, someone in the universities or a smaller TV station won't even be able to have capacity like this. Why? Because they don't have the knowledge of what to get. Secondly, it's quite expensive to get HD or 8K things like that. For shooting almost every time. Yeah.
That's true. And I want us to get into this conversation of I remember when the first time I started experiencing Next Media, before it was Next Media, it was just NBS TV.
Man.
With that guy who used to say, anyway.
Yeah.
And I've seen it grow into, you guys have different platforms, new online paper, Do you want to tell us what products are out of Next Media?
So, crazy story. 2008, everything comes to light. And recently I found out we were called NBS Star at some point. But then we let go because that marriage didn't work out. It was supposed to be a marriage between us and Star Times. So it didn't really work out very well. But NBS pioneered almost everything, I would say. And again, we're always flattered to hear the words, one of the biggest media houses out there. Because for a very long time, almost all of us, even us who work there right now, were not willing to associate with this brand. Why? Because there were much better options. We're used to Mnet and all these other fancy things out there that were foreign to us. But then here comes King Karisa sets up NBS TV, and then a whooping journey to 17 brands right now. You get it all under Next Media. So the journey has been from broadcast, where we have our big moments, our milestone, which was doing the Pops visit, where we were the official broadcaster. We were able to bring in interesting gear, the live view gear, into the country, which almost everyone is using right now, but at different levels and different standards. So from the Pops visit, we do a couple of other amazing milestone events like the elections. Fast forward, we are literally covering almost everything out there, but it's because we chose to be a forward-thinking company. Hence the next in Next Media.
You're in the next generation.
Exactly. So we're looking for the next thing. And so lockdown happens, of course. And I think that's where our most technological advancements have happened. Because that's when Afromobile became a huge thing. That's when we decided to introduce or scale our radio, the audiovisual that was in 2018. We really scaled it in 2020 because people now were at home, were able to watch radio intimately for the first time. We've gone into mainstream brands like Sanyuka. I've talked about the radio as well. And then right now in this moment, we're focusing a lot on youth audiences, which is something similar that you guys are doing for scaling this podcast viewership. So we're very focused, not just on the Gen Z, but very youthful people. So we are trying our level best to make sure that we have something for every particular segment in society.
Yes, that's true. You guys even have a Muslim TV. You have
Salam.
yes, and then and comms and everything. The Ministry of ICT in 2023, of course, I asked this question to everyone. In August 2023, we launched the Digital Transformation Roadmap. Of course,
5 things,
the 5 pillars. What are they?
Well, I know there's infrastructure somewhere there.
Yeah, that's the first, connectivity.
And others. I used to know them.
There's digital skilling, there's e-services, there's entrepreneurship, there's cybersecurity, and data privacy. What is your take from Next Media? How are you guys adding to the digital transformation roadmap?
Our job is to communicate and amplify. I think for us, we look at ourselves as partners to almost all our other government or non-government, private sector, and almost everyone else, even our audiences, because our number one boss is the viewer out there. So every time organizations like yourselves come up with mandates or policies that you're trying to push, the onus is on us to make sure that the right kind of person is listening to this. You talked about Sanyuka and Salam. The way I'm going to transmit that message or explain those pillars to this person has to be in their... make sure, first of all, they're in their comfort zone. Secondly, I need to give it to them in the way they want it consumed to them. Not me getting a press release or getting a TVC and just running it on air. I must always explain the why. So for us, it becomes a bit more important for us again to associate, because you're amazing partners to us. You allow us to, you're very willing to speak to the people through us and allow you guys to explain your mandates very, very well. But also, most important is we have to practice what we're preaching, or what you guys are preaching. Things to do with cybersecurity. We recently did the state of the digital economy,
Yes.
where we had a cybersecurity segment inside there, because it's important. There's so much information we're pushing out there, the statistics, how many banks there are. So we're giving people, we're arming them with information that could potentially allow them to infiltrate services and things like that. But the beautiful thing even about that, the infrastructure conversation as well. We're able to showcase how much you guys have put into place to allow connectivity, I would say. Fast Wi-Fi, like is in this studio. Yeah, so I mean, we think of us as brokers of information. And you guys are just the right kind of items for us to sell to our audiences.
Okay, I'm glad we're on this topic actually, because my next question is, what role does media play in shaping public opinion and buying?
And buying. So there is the cliche that media sways opinion. I think we nudge people and give them opportunities to speak, because right now the trend has changed. Back then you used to sit back home, put on your TV and it speaks to you, or you put on your radio and it speaks to you. But with the birth of digital media, social media and all these platforms, we are more or less forced to talk about what's trending. Because look, for example, our model is digital first, which we started in 2021 very aggressively. Even if we started the journey in 2017, by 2021, almost all our anchors, presenters, show hosts, MCs and etc. went on social media aggressively. Why? I mean, the lockdown forced them, yes, but secondly, they understood that the topics they talk about on their radio shows, TV shows, or what's reported in the news is of public interest. We found out that why your sales in media, which is such a huge thing that has happened to most people, you're seeing they're announcing closure for their brands, etc., because the advertising revenues have gone low. But the money is there in the economy for them to survive. It's because they're not showing what people want, which is pay-per-view or content that video on demand and things like that. You get it? So it becomes with those factors in place, we as Next Media, we learned to skew or change the way we do our programming. Get it? Now, when it comes to let's say swaying public knowledge and things like that, I think we allow people to speak and amplify what the majority are saying. We have a couple of mandates that as Next Media we will never break. For example, if it's nothing that's going to be national interest, we will not risk amplifying such a thing. You get it? Though we'll stick to the journalistic ethics, yes. But for example, if you find that we get a story that's going to be a greater evil towards the benefit of the nation, we more often or not will try to find a discourse.
A discourse.
As opposed to amplifying it on our platforms.
Okay, let me stop you there. Sorry. Okay, let's use like the situation of what happened at Chitezi.
Yeah, so again, not bragging or anything, but we broke the story. Not bragging or anything. We broke the story. And here's the craziest thing. The highest live viewership count we had ever had for a long time had always been 56,000 people watching in real time of our stream. This had about 23,000 people watching in real time because it mattered to them.
It was so sad.
Yeah, exactly. So it's important to showcase that. Why? Because it's public. It's public and free knowledge. If you don't put it on air, you're going to find it on social media, and you can't hide away from a story like that. Get it? So what we have to do is ensure that one, we let them speak, the affected parties, but also the responsible parties, and then the intersection and then the intersection of the people that are not specifically affected, like their homes have been destroyed or their lives have been taken, but they are the ones who have the impact or influence on the social media platforms. So we did a lot of polls, we did a lot of public open questions asking people what could have been done better, or how prepared are we as a nation for things like this. And then the whole conversation that almost everyone was avoiding is why on earth are we disposing like this? Are there better solutions? So in a way, we are opening the doors and ears for maybe other investors to come and give us a plant whereby these things can easily be taken, crushed and things like that, or recycled. So you just can't avoid some stories. It's impossible. But you have to be careful about how you report on them, because you may amplify a negative.
And put people in chaos and
absolutely.
in a state of fear.
Absolutely.
Which I want to use this opportunity to tell you, Danze, at your home or wherever you are, create dustbins. 1, for recyclables. 2, what's the other thing?
So anyway, yeah.
No, but separate your trash.
Absolutely, because we champion causes like this.
Yeah.
It's a whole sustainability reporting that we're doing.
Yeah.
We've done Tasso Botonde and Tuve Kavera as campaigns that because we're not the experts in our environmental safety, but we have knowledge on this. We always try to coordinate with other people who are good at doing this. The Stanbics, the MTNs, the Centenaries, all these other brands that are out there to do these campaigns.
The Ministry of ICT.
Of course. You guys are enable us to, I mean, we are being watched right now because you guys are put enabling.
I like how you're looking at the camera. Are you talking to the minister?
Everyone that's out there. That's of importance. But yes, it's important. Again, like for when you come to the park, you'll find that there is perishables, then there's plastics, and then there's all these other, and then there's the metallics, and all those are reusable factors, the 3 R's.
Yeah.
So it's something almost all companies should adopt, but also our city. You get it? I'm a person who gets emotionally damaged when I see someone throw a bottle out of a window.
Oh my God, that thing pisses me off so much. I want to like tell the guy, please.
Yeah.
The person in the and then they'll say, oh, it's negligence really.
So yeah, it's something that it's public knowledge, and there's no way you guys are going to reach out to almost everyone. That's why media comes into play to spread this message.
Yes, but in the morning, when you're going to work, apart from those people who you meet who are coming from outside, when you're going to work, there are also these ladies who spend the morning sweeping the streets. And now you imagine you're throwing out these things. What happens when she's not feeling well? So that means we find your plastic on the road.
This is the craziest thing I saw. Hopefully it's a safe space.
Feel free.
So I was driving and we're in a gridlock, and this lady is cleaning, and there's a man. I don't know have you watched It, the horror movie?
Yes.
The kid was pulled into, what do they call those things? So this chick is sweeping, and she's sweeping into that space inside there. So I asked myself, why are we putting the plastics and the dirt inside that space? I thought it's drainage. You get it? Yeah. So there's also a bit of public sensitization to those people that are doing a good thing, the bad way.
And the bad way, yeah, that's true. Okay, that's new. I've always known you're very smart.
I get.
Okay, second, you guys planting trees. I saw King Oyo came and planted a tree at the next media park. Hi, Oyo. Are you running a campaign on planting trees?
Yes. NBS made 15 years last year.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I thought your daughter is almost 15.
No. Yeah, not yet.
Okay.
At 15, she will be doing her own job. But yeah, so when we made 15 years as NBS, we themed everything under 15. We gave out 15 scholarships.
Yes.
We did 15 million trees campaign.
Yeah.
And of course, we had to celebrate this with one of the most successful events that happened, which is UB40 featuring Ali Kambo.
Okay.
So
I was in VIP, by the way.
You're in VVIP, not VIP.
VV, okay, fine. What are you reporting?
Okay. Yeah, so we are trying to lead by example.
Yeah.
You see, 15 million trees is such a huge milestone.
Yeah.
You can't do it by yourself. So every time we get an opportunity to have a A-list celebrity or a big influencer or a public figure, we have created space in our park. We want to make it as green as possible to show that, we want to get our sustainability points up there. Yeah. So Ali Kambo has planted a tree. His Excellency also planted a tree. King Oya has planted a tree. And the Prime Minister has planted a tree. Yeah. So we're trying our level best to show that, these people of influence are doing this thing. Maybe you should also take an opportunity in your school, get the head prefect to plant a tree. When you go to your church, let the bishop, priest, or whatever it is to plant a tree. So we'll pull this off. We have the right partners on board. Thank goodness you guys are going to just come on board, fund us, and do this thing.
Are you coercing me into planting a tree?
Go and plant a tree, man.
Yeah, and I think that's really good because it creates a whole lot of renewable energy.
Absolutely.
I saw Coldplay is running their concert on what? Solar energy?
Let's just call it ESG.
ESG. Yeah. And I think it's really cool because they're saving the world so much.
True.
What makes you Ugandan, sir?
Me? So if you ever check my public profile out there, in the first sentence, I say I am a Ugandan marketer. I'm so proud of this country because, I mean, obviously I'm born and bred here. I have a very unique name. People always ask me, are you Ugandan? Which all those things. Yeah, but...
Which is your local name? Danze?
Danze. And because I'm on a public space, someone put out some fake news. So that Danze was Danze Enterprise of those days. Those guys who scammed His Excellency. Me, I'm this different Danze. Yeah.
I saw you apologizing. I was like, why are you running?
Do you know that our people, our audiences are very gullible? You get it? There'll be that 15% that takes it seriously. You get it? So I never leave anything to chance. And it's what I always tell people: put out a statement or deflect or spin. Don't just leave something out there in the open, especially if there's something weird about you that's false. There are tactics in which you respond to it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't respond by yourself or let someone else speak on your behalf. Yeah, things like that. Yeah, so man, I bleed black, yellow, red. Just know I love my country so much that I think I'm in the right space to push out the right information about Uganda. You get it? I have the opportunity of running it is the most engaged and most viewed platform online, which is NBS. So almost everything we push out there, people misunderstand and say it's propaganda, but we're pushing a public message about if we're such a big platform, we say the bad things about our country, then I think we are amplifying it 1 million times. Because who's going to have the greater good, or who's going to have your interest if it's not you, the Ugandan? Yeah,
that's so true. I agree with you, actually. You're having a conference coming soon, the Economic Forum.
So,
what do you know about the economy?
What do I know about the economy? Yeah, so here's a fun thing. It's been evolving over time.
Yes.
And right now you're going to find topics like the gig economy, influencer, marketing, and things like that. You get it? So the Economic Forum is going to happen next month, September, and you're going to find conversations that are going to be for and from the economy. As a media house, don't expect us to be out there on the panels acting like experts. No, we're going to invite all the sectors that are very key in the economy. But the beautiful thing about this is most guys get that conviction to come and talk about their sector. I'm waiting for that one day when us from the gaming space, esports and virtual sports, come and sit on such panels and talk about the benefits of gaming and all those things. Because after porn, movie industry, the gaming industry is number 3.
That's true. It's all over the world.
Yeah.
But those stats are very
I checked
scary.
Because I was trying to figure out
where
gaming lies. Yeah. But yeah, so the Economic Forum is going to be, put in the forefront. We did the state of the digital economy to put the digital spaces online, all the businesses that happen there, the enablers like policy, human capital, and all those things. For now, for the Economic Forum, we're putting together the enablers. How is infrastructure enabling this? How is human capital playing a big part? What's actually in the gig economy, agriculture, and all those things. You get it? Yeah, so it's something that we do annually as NBS.
Okay, well done. Danze, this is going to be just your personal opinion. I don't know if you have the facts, but anyway, I'm just asking. According to you, how do you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate the media industry in this country as a whole?
Wow.
And why?
From
1 to 10.
I say we're at a 7.
A 7. That's above average. And why?
Yeah, we're definitely above average. Why? Because almost everyone has understood what media should be, but not everyone is doing it the right way. And you say, I can't give ourselves top marks as next media for specific reasons. We are still learning. Get it? Our audiences are always changing, but at least we're doing things that must be done. For example, we are streaming. Get it? We at some point, we're not on the big techs like YouTube and etc. for certain reasons. We introduced an app because we saw what happened to Blockbuster. Netflix came and was up them. Why should you wait to do what Hulu, Disney Plus, and all the bigger content and media houses are doing? Why should you wait years later because you're saying, the infrastructure won't allow, Ugandans are not willing to stream, or data is low? It will inevitably happen because I know that the penetration is reducing. It's increasing more and more and more. You get it? So a 7 to me is suitable because when you put all of us in one place, some people are going to pull us down, others are really uplifting us. And we need to, and the thing is, we're now broadcasting to the rest of the world. I've seen pieces being referenced on international media platforms.
Yeah, actually, when I was doing my postgrad in Estonia, I was streaming.
Estonia.
not just not just your products. I was streaming even UBC.
It's okay.
What I was streaming.
But anyway, that was general. If I was to say our side, I think we are very progressive this year.
Yes.
Why? Because we have 500 staff. 60% of them are below the age of 25.
Yeah.
That means we are more prepared to stream for or to broadcast for the next audiences. And that's why, for example, we've launched products like NBS Culture Connect, completely designed by Gen Z audiences.
Yeah.
The stuff that in our building. Now, when you look across the ecosystem of the media houses in Uganda, you'll find that almost all of us are doing one thing. We have programming in the morning. You'll have a 1 p.m. bulletin. You'll assume there's prime time. Doesn't exist anymore.
There's nothing like prime time.
Prime time is when I'm watching.
That's my prime time. If it's,
Exactly. And then everyone will do a 9 p.m. news. But what is in that content that you're giving to people?
Yeah.
Get it? What does a person in Pakuba benefit from your media house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So actually, now that you say prime time is when I'm watching, I'll take you back to a few weeks ago when Olympics were on. There was a time I took a day off and I stayed at home. I was watching Olympics at 10 and people were diving and doing all these things. Olympics was nice.
Yeah.
In Paris. But also, it brings me to NBS Sport. The only time, I was not really big on sport, but my dad would watch Super Sport 1, Super Sport 2, Super Sport 3.
You have like 23 super sports.
Exactly. And then the channels, our local channels, NBS, NTV, they'll just give us the highlights, right?
Yes.
Of this team scored this much, But now I'm seeing that NBS Sport has come up and they give us all these sports in real time. Kudos to Mr. Kin Karisa for playing golf. But anyway, carry on. Talk to us about NBS Sport.
So NBS Sport is a 24-hour local sports channel championing Ugandan sport.
Championing Ugandan sport.
But again, Ugandans, like we said, prime time and then viewership habits. Same thing. I used to, for example, pay TV, just watch sports.
Yeah.
When I got a child, it became pay TV for her to watch the cartoons and all those things.
Boomerang and others.
Then I realized that TV is no longer mine. So where do I get to consume content from? It became my phone and things like that.
Yeah.
So we figured we spend too much money and eyeballs and attention watching foreign sport. But there's a huge crowd of people that actively go to Onduparaka, Vipers, Bichi. They follow the sports around the entire country.
Shadondo on Saturday for rugby.
Exactly. Rugby community, the netball community, swimming, and all those things.
Yeah.
And the question was quite simple. If it's worked in SA and in US for the ESPN, it will work here because there's an entire sports ministry and there's an entire sports community.
Yeah.
The one thing that brings Ugandans together so well, apart from chaos and things that you don't say, is sports. You get it? Is sports.
Yeah.
So that's why we came up with sports. The channel is barely 3 years.
Yeah.
In 6 months, it had already made its money back from the investment, for example.
Yes.
And what we've done differently, because remember, there are so many people that can give you a sports event happening. Almost all of us are citizen journalists.
Yes.
I can go and stream a rugby match, whether I have the license or not. But because I've paid my ticket, I've entered, it's my data. I'm buying your drink from your establishment, so I will stream.
Yes.
Now, we chose to make partnerships or get rights with almost all the federations and things like that.
Yeah.
But most importantly, we knew you can't show local sport if you don't give them a bit of international sports.
Yeah.
So we are officially licensed to show you the English Premier League, the Olympics officially. So everything that we're showing, we are official partners of that thing and the Euros, you get it? So in a way, like I said, we are very patriotic. We are putting Uganda on the map.
Yes.
Because if you check the official Olympics website, the Sky Sports website, the Premier League website, you'll see that NBS Sport is listed there.
That's true.
We didn't pirate.
And actually, I've been on NBS Sport before, on Beats and Balls. I was with KK and Nina.
Yeah.
Yes, but
and
also
Balls.
I like the show that I think Andrew Cabrera does with Sarah.
Sarah, Andrew Cabrera, Tuka, and
yeah.
Ian Mutenda. Sport. They did sport this morning.
Yes.
Then they're doing also sport this evening.
Yes. There's a DJ who also does sports. What's his name?
Jermaine, I guess.
Jermaine, yes.
Official thingy
Commentator
for
or
CAF and AFCON.
We won't hear the end of it, shall we?
Yeah, you see. Yeah.
You're working overtime. Yeah, but we're so glad for all the things you guys are doing. But as we go into the interlude, what are your top favorite Ugandan songs?
I'm
Nkulesi.
going to sound very biased, but Elijah Chitaka.
Yes.
Kontoro. So I was having a conversation with with Vinka, and I told them, I used to be
You
a
roll
Vinka.
with Vinka?
I'm in media.
It must be nice. Must be
I'm in
nice.
media. I'm in media.
Okay.
So yeah. So I told her I'm an Elijah Chitaka stan. And surprise, I'm one of these guys who jump onto something later on. Remember Camp Mula?
Kamula,
Back in
yes.
the day?
Kamula, baby. Yes.
They were so ahead of their time, but their music has been timeless for a long time.
True.
To me right now, that's I'm jamming to him.
Yeah.
Joshua Baraka was my obsession before.
Yeah.
The music. And right now I think it's Elijah for me.
Yeah. Mr. John Jelis. Muchego kuluma weles.
Exactly. So those are almost all my artists are from Swangs, and fortunately, because they do a monster job at it.
Yeah, Azawi, Elijah, Vinka,
Nwaji as
Nwaji, Fire Baby.
Fire Baby. But yeah, my top 3 are from Elijah Chitaka. I like Control. I like Nothing. Those are my songs, man.
Yeah.
The other guys will all tie. I'm a guy who will obsess about a song because I'm an Afro. I'm a house head.
Yeah.
So a bit of time I give it to Ugandan music, but I would say 60% of the music I'm into is just Afro, techno, and all those things.
Yeah. Okay. So my next question. This is now your call, right? What should government do for the media industry?
I mean, be more. You're already enabling us.
Yeah.
You give us licenses. I mean, you also give us some revenues. I won't lie. You give us money to stream. You pay. You don't tell us, you pay for your stuff. I think let's be a bit more inclusive. It's extremely important. Don't let us look for the stories. Let the stories be available to us. Have very open doors, or have comms departments that are willing to speak. Get it?
Yeah.
There's this all weird cliche of, man, it's always the same exact people speaking on air. Get it?
Yeah.
So we need to be a bit more collaborative, as opposed to us reporting on what the government is doing. This is a very amazing initiative that you guys are doing, because
Which one?
The podcast.
Oh, okay.
Get it? Because you're allowing for other audiences to dive into your minds by the questions you ask and the guests you bring on board. So they understand your mandate subliminally, which is very, very smart.
Omanyolo zoo.
Nasoma, Buddo, King's College.
Gachali mamaga.
Ogategera. But I mean, just put enablers there. And it's not going to be for journalism only. That would be very selfish of myself. Let it be for the entire media space. There are people that will need the funding, yes, but then the people that are doing a good job, how about you invest a lot more in them? For example, almost everyone wants to have amazing studios, but then there's this media student, let's say in the north or in the south, that's out there who watches NBS and aspires to be the next Canary Mugume. But then you're going to find that the education system, the roads there, and things like that are not enabling this person to get to that point. Because there's always been a Bale Francis, there will never be another Bale Francis.
Correct.
But now we're trying to groom the next Canary Mugume. You get it? So things like that. Let's work more together. Bring money also. Like money. Money is
like
nice.
money.
Yeah, money is good. But let's just work more closely together.
Yeah. Okay, that's. I think that's good. We do the best we can when we can. Last time you guys had the digital economy.
There.
And we were there. PS came. You did the economic forum. Dr. Amina was there.
There.
The minister, Dr. Mariamos, is always there. I always see Dorothy, ED, UKCC, Dorothy Chisaka. She's always there.
But now I wish you could say a lot more government agencies. Get it?
Okay, guys, we're going to do better. Each agency has a communication officer. It's nice when we come and talk about what's happening in the nation. I agree.
Oh, you reminded me. Here's a weird thing. Almost all of us pay tax.
Almost all of us, everyone pays tax.
I say that because we looked at some stats. Recently, that been this entire IFRIS thing.
Yes.
Do you know that could have easily been avoided if there had been soft tax education over a long period of time? For example, Netflix. People are willing to pay for it, and you don't even care. You see the notification, you're like, oh, it must be the Netflix notification. Because you're paying for something, you can live without it, but it's something that's become a daily for you.
It's a good to have.
Exactly. So enforcement may not work on certain policies, but what works is buy-in. You get it? And also engagement with people. But over a long period of time, because behavior change is something very, very difficult. Sooner rather than later, our city is going to become big, modern, more and more modern. There are things you guys are going to introduce, Wi-Fi points, let's say public transportation that's free, all those things.
Yes.
You need to train us early.
Yeah.
Because remember, the biggest population right now are digital natives.
True.
The government needs to learn to communicate in those platforms and things like that.
Yes. Yeah. I agree. I totally agree. So, Danze, you have a show, Game Plus, right? And as chief marketing officer, you also have like a team. What is your point of view in workplace etiquette and all these things? Because I see at your workplace, people have transformers, which are not machines. They are actually people who are transforming. You have like a lounge and you have a prayer area. Like, what do you say about workspace morale boosting? How does it play into the productivity of someone who works there?
Okay, so we aim to have an enabling workspace.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. Not because we have a lot of Gen Zs and millennials at our workplace, but it's because, the lockdown retuned almost everyone's mind. Remote working became a thing.
Yes.
I had a friend who only used to go to work on Thursdays. Since 2020 till today, they only work once a week. But they're very productive.
Yeah.
They've launched so many campaigns. They're doing all those amazing things.
Yes.
So our aim was to have a very admirable culture. It may not be the best because we say we inform to transform, we're transformers and things like that. We want people to know that even if we're just transmitting news from point A to point Z, it's what's its purpose. You going on air and giving that story. What's the point behind that story? You the editor editing that story. You the digital person posting this stuff. How do you refrain from commenting rudely to someone who has disagreed with an opinion from NBS?
Yes.
So an enabling workspace is very important. For example, next Comm. In 80% of my staff at Nextcom are Gen Zs. 60% of them are ladies.
Yeah.
You have to ask yourself, what things must we do not to offend this gender? What things must we do to make sure that people are very creative? Where is the creative acceleration coming from?
Yeah.
You get it? So that's why we have a gaming area, a gym, we have next level, we have a cafe and all these things. You have an amazing auditorium where people can go and do their own content and things like that.
Yeah.
So it's important. Otherwise, there is fatigue. There's mental health things you have to be very cognizant of. There's also walking. You must remember that your audience, some of them are differently enabled.
Yeah.
You have to have a rail, all that stuff.
Yes,
so it plays a very, 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 very big role in the mindset. I want you to come, and the feeling that our guests get, what percentage of that are you getting as staff?
Staff, yes.
Yeah. But also the staff, they also know that you can't take it for granted.
True.
Because so many media houses have come and gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They wrap it up quick.
Yeah.
Okay, not really quick because they stand the test of time.
Yeah.
You talked about mental health, then I remembered. Guys, I think I'm your biggest fan. No, I need to...
You'll clip that for me.
Anyway, on Next Radio, you're running, I don't know if, is this still running? The mental health campaign?
Yes.
Tell us about it.
So what we do is we make sure that every single show has an inspiration moment in it, whereby we're going to give you a tip that's going to ease your worries, I would say. So it could be health, it could be relationships, it could be family, it could be business, whatever it is. So we put in a tip in almost everything else because Next Radio wants to be aspirational. But we try to move that across the entire ecosystem of TVs that we have. So you'll find the mental health moment on also NBS, and Sanyuka has its own version as well.
Yes.
So we try to be seen to do that because again the audiences are ever changing.
Yeah.
You never know what's bugging a 16-year-old. So that, for example, tomorrow we're doing something called Jump Street, whereby 16 to 20-year-olds are going to talk about mental health.
Yes.
You will be shocked at the things that disturb them.
Yes, that's true. I absolutely agree. And also, it's just nice to be cognizant about the things that affect different people. Yeah. You talked about gender. Sometimes I'm not saying you guys. I'm saying the media. You find there's I don't know, there's a word for male panels. What are they called?
Manuals.
How? Yes. What how do we get there?
So, this is the craziest thing. And you can quote me on this. we're very cognizant of this, and I want you to just critical. Those that are watching, look at all our artworks, look at all our TVCs, look at the way we frame ladies. It's very deliberate. We center and focus our ladies. Why? Because we want to break. People are very ignorant of the fact that Uganda general population still has a huge patriarchy thing happening out there in society. Girls are not going to school, boys are going to school, things like that. But right now, where we have the greatest impact is us, the media leaders or the price leaders or whatever it is. If you don't put women at the forefront, you're avoiding the obvious fact that it's a generalized thing. But at the same time, you can't do it to tick a box. It has to be value. For example, why shouldn't we have a lead anchor that's female? Why shouldn't we have a woman that's leading the radio show? Why shouldn't we have, let's say, a head of digital marketing that's a lady? Things like that. So we exactly. She's the head of content and is the general manager for for Afro Mobile.
Yes.
So when given an opportunity, we will try and font a lady. Why? Because we want to be counted, but at the same time, as we make it functional.
True.
We made her the GM of Afro Mobile, and the product is successful. Yet we have a CEO who does not micromanage. He gives you creative liberties, he just guides.
True.
So the manuals come about because, one, you'll find that, again, we always reach out to ladies to try and balance it. But you'll get reasons like, now my I'm not yet ready, my hair, things like that, when it comes to with our aesthetics. The other thing is, but I may say the wrong thing and my boss says the mentality, they still have the mentality, and you can't blame them. It's Uganda. Then lastly, the one that's usually very stressing to me is some of them never put their hands up and say, I am willing to do this thing. You get it? They want to do things when it's just the ladies, all of them at once. The most saddening thing one of the panelists ever told us was, man, those guys are going to say these things and make fun of us. I used to produce a show called Another Round.
Another Round. Now
we launched very provocatively, but it's because we wanted shock factor to pull in audiences. But every single time we'll have a topic whereby we need a woman to come and discuss. They're not willing to be confrontational on set. Not chikonde, but confrontational in terms of opinions and things like that. So
what goes.
Sometimes, but also sometimes you need to understand, like on X, the moment you put up an opinion, you've asked us to literally comment on it. So be ready for either ignoring, responding, and things like that. So most times that's why the manuals happen. But also secondly, men have positioned themselves to come off as experts. The few women that come and do these things are really in the political space, but you'll find them in business, you'll find them in agriculture, you'll find them in technology, and there you absolutely will see. Every single time we have Business Perspective Impact Uganda, we have so many women doing this thing. But on the political scene and things like that, where the current affairs of things, you'll find that they'll avoid the space. You get it? Yeah.
Oh, you get Debbie. What are your favorite Ugandan foods?
I love posho.
You love posho?
So much.
Which school did you go to, you guys?
I went to Kabinja, Budo Junior. I used to hate it so much. So I think I'm doing the reverse in my life. I love posho. I love matoke and gin nuts.
Yes. That slaps. It's really good.
I like my rice and beans. But nothing will ever top pasta for me. Spaghetti and macaroni.
But that bun they put on the side is for what?
Simani.
That bread on the side.
Well, you put it in the thing about what? But yeah, I'm that guy right now. Who like I told you, I'm Ugandan. The only thing I think I've not vibed with has been kalo. It's brown, man. Why?
I put it on the plate. I eat some of it. And then I move on to my matoke, my rice, my soup, my greens.
I love Ugandan food so much.
As I should.
But I like seafood more.
Yes, I was wondering. I was like, look at this guy duping us. He likes seafood and he's here doing
So I love seafood. I love seafood, but it's because accessibility, man. If I was living at the coast, I guess I wouldn't be so obsessed with it. But like, I'm a posho guy, man. Posho any day, I'm there.
Also, your memes on Instagram are so fake. Don't send them to me ever again.
The algorithm has me.
On chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, what are your favorite places to visit in Uganda?
Where haven't I been? When I produced that Another Round show, we almost went everywhere.
Yeah, you guys had so much fun. You, Marcus, Gaetano, and
Anne-Marie.
And Anne-Marie.
We hosted the most amazing people. I think I've been everywhere. else, but I think I love heritage sites.
Yes.
I like going back to places once in a while. I'm not so big on national parks and everything because I've experienced almost all of them.
Yeah.
But I like unique spots that a bit more intimate. There's a bit more care.
Yeah.
Even if they're within town,
Yeah.
they're amazing. There jewels that you'll find that are hidden out there. So again, unfortunately, I've loitered a lot because I'm in media, but at the same time, I used to do the producer stuff.
I can't believe you're blaming your loitering on media, but let's move forward.
It's absolutely media.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, when you talk about you like revisiting places, my brother studies in St. Henry's College, Chito. But
Masaka side?
Masaka there. But every time we go there, I have Malo for the equator. Like, I just want to stand there, take another picture.
I refuse to take that snap. That's the one picture I jam to take. Every time I pass the place, I accelerate past it.
You stand on business.
No, I don't want. I find that photo. I remember taking it those days with my parents. So every single time I'm like, so we're going to stand in there. Then what?
We take a picture at the equator.
That's fascinating. You get it? Those ones are very fascinating. I find those things strange. I like caves. I like caves. When I went to...
Clearly, you should have been born in 1800, but carry on.
Yeah, I like caves. There's a cave I went to there, and the lore and the stories around them. That stuff fascinates me.
Yeah.
Get it? And then I think, what do they call this place? Where there's a lake that's shaped like Africa.
What place is that?
It's where there are a lot of birds.
You're going to come in the comment section when we upload this video and you tell us.
There.
Yeah, you tell us
so
this place.
That place fascinated me so much because it's crater lakes.
Yeah.
Crater lakes, but one is shaped like Africa. So we're on top of the highest of the hills around the crater lakes. I found that very fascinating.
Yeah.
People get to live there every single day.
Yeah.
And they don't get to pay.
And for you have to take a whole trip. Yeah. You know, when you're talking about another round, I remembered that I've actually been listening to Anne-Marie.
In Capital FM.
Yeah, with Gaetano. I think they're having a good time that they're working together again.
Those ones are tight like butt cheeks.
I love it for them. Yeah, so we're coming to the end of the episode.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so sad, isn't it?
Man.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll see you again.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But I have a question. So what are your favorite campaigns? Like the ones you have worked on and you went home that day when the campaign ended and you're like, I did this. I'm so proud of myself.
Red card campaign.
Yeah.
That was then when I was still at Fireworks Advertising.
Yes.
It was proper use of alcohol.
Yeah.
Don't drink and drive.
Yeah.
Irene Talley sang that song. It was amazing.
Yes.
Number 2 has to be Salapulesa. I did the first gamification thing for Crown Beverages.
Yes.
Back in the day, we used to just community money, the bare minimum. So for the first time, I did a campaign whereby the whole point was you buy a bottle, pop the Crown, see a code, win a Toyota Noah.
Buy those buchokolos. These days, you know, these days when I open like a drink,
You try to check.
I just open because it was such a fulfilling way.
Yeah. So as everyone else was doing that traditionally, people are winning cars. I told them, get me the same mechanics, buy a bottle, pop the Crown, see a code, input it into a game on Facebook.
Yes.
You could win a DSTV decoder, smartphone, t-shirts, caps. I made 70 million Ugandan shillings for Pepsi.
I thought for you.
No,
I was ready to say Mpakus.
Like, I'm so proud of it because that's the first time a digital campaign has actually earned revenues.
Yes.
Like direct sell on for a brand. So it's one
70 million is a lot of money.
Back then, 2016.
That was even more money then.
Absolutely. So
Well
I still
done.
insist. I'm a hard digital guy. But anyway, then I think recently I'm very proud. Also, I cannot skip this. 2014, Extreme Gamers Tour Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
I'm a huge gamer, so I took gaming across the entire country.
Yeah.
It was a 700 million campaign where Pepsi Mountain Dew trusted that gaming can be a sampling tool.
Yeah.
And they sampled. Remember the Blue Mountain Dew back then?
I'm not that old, sir.
But anyway, yeah. So we sampled gaming across the country, and then recently it's been UB40 featuring Ali Cambo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was character development for me.
Bambi, you really pushed that show.
Character development. I cannot emphasize the fact that I learned marketing is you learn it every day.
Yeah.
So everything that could go wrong went wrong, but everything that could go right went right. Yeah.
And the government apologizes for any role it played.
You forgave us. It's Kawa.
We had NAM.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
We had a summit too.
It is what
now
it is,
the
yeah.
Non-Aligned Movement and G77. We had to.
Bibao.
Viva.
Yeah, so those are some of that. I've done a couple of things, but I really love those ones.
Yeah.
They hit home.
Yeah. And also me, I want to give you your flowers now. Well done in the digital space.
Thank you.
Well done with the mentorship you give all the people at Next Media.
Oh.
We have mutual friends and they have great things to say about you.
That's fully.
Job Yarhanga?
Oh, boy. Nothing for free.
Yeah, and also the stuff you do for gaming. I like. There's a way you incorporated gaming with the Fireboy concert, Joe Boy.
I've played and beaten both of them.
So now you feel like you're too bad.
I've beaten Joe Boy and Fireboy.
All the
Bring
boys.
another Western artist.
Oh, we bring you all the boys.
Yeah.
Banner Boy. We shall bring you Banner Boy.
Can we afford 200 million USDs? Sorry, 2 million USDs.
What? Kasana did it before. They can't do it
It
again.
was 500K at that point.
Yeah, anyway. So well done.
Thank you very
Keep
much.
pushing. Keep doing you. As a country, we are proud to have you. Yeah.
Several advisor is here.
I tell you, they appointed Eddie Kenzo as
And I'm
presidential.
Edwin.
So you're close.
Hey,
Presidential
let's do this,
advisor
man.
for creatives.
Uh-huh.
At least now we have someone advising on our.
I can assist you.
You want to be an assistant presidential advisor?
Boss, put it on your LinkedIn and see what it does for you. Just put it there like this.
Our taxpayers will not give you that money. But also, well done.
Yeah.
Do you have a word of wisdom, love, encouragement to anyone listening to you or watching you on the Ugandan podcast?
Follow all the Next Media platforms on our social media platforms.
I can't believe this.
Simply put in at Next Media UG.
Yeah.
You will see all our brands there. We are very optimized online.
Yeah.
But then, one message that I always tell guys is, be that one person that's going to make someone's day. You
Yeah,
get it?
yeah.
So
Oh,
if
that's
they
so sweet.
posted a comment and there are no likes or comments, be the first to say, man, this slaps, your outfit is Mozori. Like positive energy just rubs off you every single day you open social media. So be that one person. Don't be rude.
Yeah.
And then remember, every single thing you post online is potentially going to be used against you in the court of law.
Yeah.
Could be in an interview, could be with your spouse, your partner, anything of that sort. So it's
Your boss.
It's a blueprint you're putting inside there. Let yours be positive.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's so nice.
Thank you.
You're advocating for people to use the media properly.
Good vibes,
Good
man.
vibes.
Yeah.
I agree. Missouri. I saw in the comment section of the ministry page when you're saying, congratulations to PS for her appointment as the permanent secretary. Ministry.
Yeah, truth is, I mean, we thrive off negative energy so much.
Yes.
I mean, it's what brings clicks. I work at NBS. I know. We are bashed bi-weekly.
And
You
they
get it?
brought your paychecks.
Did you see me there? Me, I work
But
for-
there's you
Call
work
it
for
abantu,
free.
call it abantu.
I saw the list and your name was in there. I was like, I wanted to know how much does Danze make?
No. I work for the people, man. I do it for the people. But yeah, I mean, we need to give our flowers.
Yeah.
It's very rare for people to be publicly outspoken,
Yes.
but at the same time have what to show. They put their money where their mouth is. So you see the things that have been done. It's very difficult to deny the fact. You get it?
Yeah.
So it is what it is. You know, Uganda, we are not used to people doing their job.
Yeah.
So it's usually very refreshing to see that happen.
Yeah. Also, okay, actually, I wanted to tell you, you guys have a new host at 9 a.m. 9 p.m. news.
Sibia,
Sibia.
Eh.
She's really good.
you have finished that. No, yeah, she's
Yeah.
been mentored very well from
Yes.
the CEO mentorship program, which is one of our sustainability brands. And again, the saying goes in media, if you're able to do it and put yourself in front of the camera, go ahead.
Yeah.
She's South African.
Oh,
Get
she
it?
is.
Yeah, but she settled in Uganda.
Okay.
She didn't get a chance that side.
Yeah.
I mean, Next Media presented itself.
Yeah.
She's immersed herself in the culture here.
Yeah.
And then, I mean,
She was on radio before.
she was on radio, she was on TV, she does Impact Uganda, and now she's doing the 9 p.m. news. And she's really, really very articulate. So also us, we are learning
Yeah.
from her.
Okay.
And she's a pastor, Baba Itachi. Gambanjiri.
Yeah, I actually follow her on the gram. She's really good. Anyway, I think the producers are about to chase us out of here. We have made this our home. So let's wrap it up. If anyone wants to find you, what are your handles on platforms?
At DEEJAHN. at
Dijon.
But again, my business is to optimize brands. Simply search for Danze Edwin. I will pop up.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm the only one.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us today. This has been so much fun. And then you can find us at MYCT underscore UG. And then you can find us on Instagram, the Ugandan Podcast, and many other platforms. You should optimize our brand.
Sure. Please like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications for this podcast. It's very amazing. Simply search for the Ugandan Podcast. It's the only one that's going to appear. And again, remember, the more you spread this content across the ecosystem of the internet, the more people see nice things about Uganda.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Tweyambe.
Tweyambe. Thank you very much for coming. We're happy to have you.
High five over the mic.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for watching the Ugandan Podcast. You can find us on all platforms. And I've been Brandy, and he has been
Danze.
We love you very much, and catch you on the next episode. For God and my country. Bye.
Oh, nice.